Blue Dragon here. I welcome you to the channel. This week, I feel like playing Santa Claus, so let's delve into an entire video of sketching some fan art for some awesome indie comic creators. And when you make it to the end of the video, I am going to have a special playlist of songs for the holidays that are not overplayed that I know of, so you can enjoy that. This video is Happy Christmas, the year's almost over. But first, my usual disclaimers. My videos are for adults, they're for an adult audience. The first comic that I'm doing fan art for is safe for work, but the latter is definitely not safe for work. I am also not sponsored by YouTube, Google ads, or any of that bullshit, but rather I get my support directly from patrons, donators, and viewers like you. Let's start this Word of Wednesday foray into the wonderful world of indie webcomics. I'm working on 2 fan art pieces. The first is for the absolutely adorable Nakama Victory. I think I'm stressing things wrong. Nakama Victory. In the background, that's the first one that I'm doing. I decided to sketch the main character and heroine of the webcomic, Yuria. She is a fox girl who, along with her older sister Junko, is the daughter to the fighting champions of the world. The comic follows the feisty Yuria and her eclectic group of friends as they battle each other, enemies, school, all the while having a great time doing so. It's a combination between action and kind of slice of life. It's funny. It is definitely a comedy, if I can get that out. It's super cute. I love to catch up with it whenever I have some free time. I just think this is a funny comic. You can see as the story progresses how the artist and writer strives to improve his craft and make the comic easier to read. I've been watching as he works on redoing pages too. He's even gone so far as to not reboot but go back and redo some of the earlier pages to make them easier to read, and he's made many strides in his art and he just keeps getting better, so I appreciate that. I like how he does the bubbles. He's really come a long way and it's just a fun comic. I like to read this comic when I'm feeling a bit down and I need a bit of good old shonen manga inspired comedy to kind of pick me up. The characters are very fun, they're very bubbly, the action scenes are pretty damn good too. I really like the mix of comedy and action. Yuria is constantly searching for a good fun fight and her friends they just kind of come along for the ride. She's very feisty. There's also a touch of romance, but it's not like one of those things where it's like over the top melodramatic love triangle, at least not yet. Not that I know of. But it's all done in a very light-hearted manner, and it's very enjoyable. And there's even like an action packed scene where there's like Dragon Lady and Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon approves 100% of any edition of Dragon Lady. And there's also nefarious villains and various peons who are just incompetent, and the whole thing is just a joy to read. I really have a lot of fun with it. I comment on it. I'm one of those loud people, if I'm really enjoying something, I will comment on just about every page. I'm sure I'm really fucking annoying, but yeah, that's how I am. I also love the cute little logo that the artist K. Esteban added to the back of Yuria's uniform. The little fox logo is just super fucking adorable, and I tried to put a hint of it in her as her little pigtail ties, back in the day they used to have the big plastic bulbous things that held the rubber. I mean, if anyone out there remembers those dangerous hair ties that had the big circles, they were awesome looking, but they were so dangerous if you were knocking them around not in your, anyway, whatever. I'm getting off script. But I tried to include those in the sketch. So if you like comics like Naruto, only this is definitely a little less serious than Naruto. Dragon Ball, more like Dragon Ball. Maybe a little bit of Dragon Ball Z in there. Possibly One Piece. I get slight vibes that the artist might like One Piece, but I don't know. I'm not speaking on their behalf. But if you want to see also an artist and writer just keep getting better and better, then I would definitely recommend Nakama Victory. It's cute, it's got fox ladies, it's got cat and Dragon Girls do to inexplicably have English accents. Seriously, Liam, the character Liam, every time I read his dialogue, I have to do it hearing like Liam Gallagher's over the top accent. Like I feel like he like intentionally overstresses. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I'm talking shit about Liam Gallagher, and that has absolutely nothing to do with this comic. But yeah, anyway, Nakama Victory. Yuria, the Fox Girl, recommended. Most enjoyable, most excellent, intentionally silly, just a fun read. I would recommend it. I have a link to K. Esteban's comic down in the description if you would like to read it. The next fan art piece comes from the ever so prolific, I'm gonna say this wrong, Lervlos? Oh, fuck, I'm butchering his name. I'm gonna put it in the text. I'm so sorry if you happen to, I know you read my comic. If you watch this video, I'm so sorry. Correct me. But his character Donna from the webcomic Grinders is one of my fucking favorites. Coffee is for closers, and she's cornered the market on kicking ass and taking names and having all the fun while doing so. This comic is a combination of an ongoing story, and it's got fun little short shots, which are kind of like gag-a-day things. It's kind of like the yonkoma, which I talk about in this video, only they're kind of sporadically put throughout the comic to help kind of break up some of the crazy shit that's going on in the story. She and her friends from high school, Naomi and Jen, although Jen is younger than her, she went, I think Jen's older sister is in her class, but they get into all kinds of fucking crazy shit. You think that it's just a story about salespeople and coffee, but no, it's more than that. Don't be fooled by Donna's bouncy positivity. This chick's got some mad skills, she's got motivation, determination, and while some of it comes off as kind of lighthearted at times, this comic has a lot of darker tones and themes. It's gorgeously done. First off, I want to say that the color usage is just fan-fucking-tastic, and a lot of the textures that are used, amazing. But there's a lot of really dark shit that's going on in this, and a lot of sex and nudity. A lot of that. But I personally enjoy it. It's nice to see characters that are comfortable with their sexuality, but also some of which, you know, it's kind of questionable. Maybe they're a little too comfortable with their sexuality. Naomi. But I guess I like that. I like that not all the characters are villainized for being sexual and embracing that promiscuity. A lot of times that's just, I don't know. I personally feel that it's well done, but there's also a story that goes along with all of this. While there is a lot of sex, the story does carry on. What starts as a down-on-her-luck fired businesswoman, fired in spite of being the best damn saleswoman in the company, it takes a lot of twists and turns that are very unexpected. Very hard to predict where this story is going in a good way. And we learned a lot more about Donna's motivations, which include caring for a less than grateful father who's probably the reason why she's the way she is. This is all without actually coming out and saying that he's a complete total dick. But there's also, she's trying to help her friends that are stuck at dead-end, low-paying service jobs in a small town America, way too close to home for me. This comic appears to be selling itself on the sex and fan service, and it is, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of it, but it's tackling a lot of topics without telling you how to think about the situations. I think that's a good way of putting it. There are awful characters, and they are portrayed as just that terrible pieces of shit looking to make a profit off weapons of destruction, but they do it, this comic does it in a way that it's not like preachy or annoying with the message. There are shiftless, lazy characters who want things handed to them, and there are those who work hard and may finally get to see the fruits of their labor. You want Donna to win, you want characters like Jen to succeed, so there's a wide variety of different characters within the story. And the cast, you know, it runs from coffee baristas to mad scientists to pig farmers. Grinders is anything but your run-of-the-mill smut comic. It makes commentary without being smarmy. It has a lot of sex and nudity, but does it more for the fun and the shits and giggles than for the reader to get off on it. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, maybe some people are getting off on. People will get off on anything, but I think this is fan service at its best. If you are open-minded and you are not adverse to comics with violence, sex, drugs, questionable moral decisions, if you want to see a literal working girl rise to the occasion, get yourself a cup of coffee and settle in for a wild ride. You will not be disappointed. Thank you all for watching. The question of the week: who are some of your favorite fan art creators? I'm bringing it back to creating fan art for people's comics that I like. I don't really know, like, most of the people who do fan art. Like, I see their art and I like it, and then I'm a terrible human being. I forget who they are. But I remember Art with Coda, pretty groovy, does a lot of Steven Universe fan art and cartoon-related fan art. The artist Minerva Fox, she is one of my favorite doujinshi artists. She does a lot of fan art comics, including Heavy Metal Sailor Moon, which is on Comic Theory. It's already completed. She also has it printed, and I want to copy it so bad, but priorities. Gotta pull through 2020 and see what our budget's like later, right? Yeah. Anyway, next week, I'm doing the monthly Q&A. Nothing like a last minute Q&A video. Sorry patrons, I love you. I wanted to make sure I had time to do it. Tune in next week for that. Also got to do my obligatory humbling myself for money. So if you like these videos, if you like my comics, art, or whatever it is that brings you to this channel, and you feel like donating one time or becoming a patron, all those means to do so, that is all down in the description. Low on cash this time of year, or like always, I feel you there. Don't feel bad. You can also support the channel by liking, subbing, and if you're watching this on YouTube, which is the case, I haven't gotten off my ass to look for other places yet, doing the bell thing also helps. God, is that long-winded. Whatever you're doing for this winter season, be it celebrating a holiday, the solstice, keeping cozy at home, or keeping safe elsewhere, I wish only the best for you and your loved ones. Be good to each other. Happy Christmas, peace and love, and as always, keep on truckin'.